Hey guys, I'm Kamen Rider Silver, and today we will be taking a look at the Hiya exquisite basic Godzilla 1991 Atomic Blast version. Guys, this figure has been rocking the Godzilla toy community, and they're saying this 91 Godzilla Hiya figure is quite possibly one of the best Godzilla figures ever made. And I'm starting to see why. There was the initial release that didn't have the Atomic Blast on it, and I did have that for pre-order from 5K Toys, but the second payment came around and I forgot to pay for it, so they just didn't ship mine, which is okay. I only lost maybe $5 on it, and I ended up getting this version instead from Kalki's Toys because I really liked some of the improvements I was seeing. This figure is so awesome. First, taking a look at the box. Of course, it's a Hiya Toys box. Nothing to write home about, but pretty cool. I like this little effect right here, and I like the little beam. That's cool. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Heat Ray. Hokkaido version. That's a hard word to say, Hokkaido. And on the back, nothing much. Bunch of that stuff. In the box, of course, you get Godzilla. You also get some hands, which aren't really much different than the ones he has on him, but they're a little bit more kind of curled in. They look good. And you get, of course, a blast. And this thing looks amazing. I love the little impact here at the end. It's a little splash effect, like that. And little flames, like the start of a spiral. You know, he's not quite there yet. And it leads all the way up to right here where there's more effect. And it plugs into the roof of his mouth. So you kind of just stick it up in there and there you go. And that looks so cool. Look at that. I feel like Hiya instantly started nailing blast effects. Wow, that looks awesome. Putting these accessories to the side, let's take a look at quite possibly the best Godzilla figure ever made. Look at this. This is Godzilla 1991, which is different than the Godzilla 89 suit. And I feel like sometimes companies don't make that distinction, but it definitely is different. I had to go back and watch some clips of the movie just to like familiarize myself with the suit. And yep, this is a super duper accurate representation. Those spines are super cool because they are see-through and capture the light really nice, but they have a nice frosted tip at the ends, and they also have like a little bit of a blue gradient right here, and it actually fades from blue to charcoal right there. As far as this head goes, this head is one of the main reasons why I decided to, well, involuntarily decided to skip on the non-atomic release. The non-atomic release had this thing where it had these like gold eyes, and people were fine with it, but Hiya decided they wanted to make another head that had kind of the black sclera and the orange eyes, which looked cool as well. But then on this figure, they released it with an entirely new eye paint job, which looks even better than the rest of them. A little bit of that kind of tan sclera, not quite white, not quite black or brown, not quite dark, but somewhere in between. And those eyes, let's take a closer look at those. Wow, look at that. Just look at the depth in those. And they look dead on. Absolutely gorgeous sculpt. And while we're up here, we'll just appreciate the mouth and how good that looks compared to some monster arts that don't have great teeth paint. Wow, that looks amazing. The rest of the figure has that 91 feel to it, with that kind of top of the head little ridge, the kind of slim back, the really long tail that can kind of arch up, the broad chest with some of those pebbly details, and then the thunder thighs. And not just thunder thighs. Dang, bro, you've got ultimate cankles. Look at this. Look at this absolute unit of a calf. This is I don't even know what kind of build this is. But overall, just every angle of this figure really looks absolutely incredible. They knocked this one out of the park, and please make some Showa figures. I want to see some accuracy like this on a Showa figure. That looks so darn cool. Looking at the articulation on this guy is pretty darn great. You can look up a ton. You can look down a good amount. Open and close the mouth. Your arms can go up and down. You've got double jointed elbows, which is nice. Those work good. You've got this kind of Hiya double jointed wrist, which has always been really nice. You've got an ab crunch right here, which does kind of work, not too bad. You've got pretty nice movement here at the hip. A little bit restricted right there. Double jointed knee, if you can even find the knee in there. These really thick legs are really kind of make it hard. And then you've got good foot movement. And the star on this figure is this tail. I mean, every single figure company tries to do articulated tails, but Hiya said, let me show you how it's actually done. You've got a segment, boom, 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 boom. And then as it gets smaller, every single one of these is a segment. Every single one. There's no skipped segments in here. So that allows this to be just absolutely cranked into a circle. Look at that. And of course, what do people do? They do that like standing on his tail pose. I can't quite do it, but it can be done. So this figure absolutely raises the standard for tail articulation. Remember those old Monster Arts figures where you'd have like joints up to here and then you were completely AWOL for the rest of the tail? Yeah, you don't have that here. You have beautiful range of movement, and that means you can get this guy into some absolutely killer poses. Not like this one. This is not a good pose, but awesome poses. And of course with your atomic breath effect. Cannot forget that. That looks amazing. Scaling our new 91 up, here is an SH Monster Arts. This is not 91. This is the Rebirth, grown-up Godzilla Jr., which is also the Burning Godzilla mold. And these two do look good together. I've always really liked this figure. I've kind of had a lot of the 90s Godzillas from the SH Monster Arts line. I had the original SH Monster Arts, which is the 94. I had the 89, and I've had this one. I sold the 89 not too long ago because I knew that this figure was coming out, and I know I said at the beginning they're not the same suit, but they kind of fill the same niche. And then I sold the 94 because I thought the 95 looked better. And I think these are both great examples of the Heisei Godzilla, which in my mind is the definitive Godzilla. Bringing in another 91 Godzilla. Here is that Godzilla Monster Series, or the little action figures that they released. This is a 91. And yeah, I mean, you can see the similarities in what they were going for. I do like this figure. It's fun. It's got dorky little ears, but it does have a cool, solid sculpt with some okay articulation, so I don't mind it at all. It's cool to see those side by side. Now bringing in the NECA. I feel like I say this when I compare NECA figures to Hiya figures, but NECA wasn't that far off. I've repainted this figure's eyes. Those are new eyes and some new fangs, some new teeth. But besides that, this figure is still very darn cool in my eyes. And actually, if you're looking at it, the NECA figure has like a deeper sculpt, if that makes sense. Like it just looks deeper. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but the lines are just, they're deeper. I think the NECA figure was sculpted, by hand. You can definitely tell it's kind of clay-ish, like, kind of a hand sculpted, where the Hiyas are digitally sculpted. So I guess there's just a difference there. You can see what NECA was going for. This is the first figure they did that had like a good tail. and I still do like it. I still feel like it, gets some good posability. The back has always been kind of weird, how it dips in too much. The 91 has a dip, but not that much. But the head, I see what they were going for. The paint is nice. The paint on the dorsals is great. There's some blue, there's some grays and some greens. Yeah, so, and on top of that, this figure was $25 when it came out. The Hiya is, if you can get it shipped for $70, you're lucky. So, I don't know. Whenever I compare Hiyas and NECAs, I feel like NECA 10 years ago was doing not too bad. So, that's just a cool little comparison. So there you go, guys. There was a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla 1991 Atomic Blast Hokkaido version. That is a mouthful. I am glad that I missed out on the original release, because this one with the updated eyes and the atomic breath effect is just so freaking sweet. Hiya, please get in the lab, start cooking up those figures so we can get them released sooner. I feel like we've been having to wait forever for these to come out. I need your Godzilla 2000 to just release it. Wherever it's at, just release it. I want more and more of these Toho series figures because they are absolutely beautiful. Guys, if you like Godzilla 91 or the Heisei Godzillas at all, you definitely need to pick up this figure. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!